arguments here on why you would either want to do it or not want to do it in Detroit?
Oh, I would do it very much so in Detroit. I love that place. I love that organization. I love a lot of those people that are there. I love Jared. I'm a huge Jared guy. So
Johnny got fat.
I don't think that's actually me.
That's like you and MCDC's child.
No, well, once you get in that building, he's going to force you to work out.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, true.
You're going to get jacked again. You know, you're going to do the whole thing. And you're
A lot of creatine.
Is that medium? That polo you're currently wearing now?
Yeah. So most like just single, let's call it a polo or t-shirt. More often than not, I'm in a medium nowadays, which I'm not stoked about.
I don't know if MCDC's hiring a medium wearer.
Well,
No, Johnny
That's
Mo.
TV He just had Mike McDaniel, and he's a small guy.
That's what I'm saying, though. But that's like comic book stuff.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Johnny
You're
Mo
right,
was
yeah.
a medium, though. His shirt just came up above his gut.
And where's he at now?
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I wear a large hoodie. Hoodies are a large.
So apparently Dan Orlovsky, basically wants to, lobbies to be the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Now, people may be like, well, Darren Orlovsky's trash, and he was a trash player. Well, so the fuck was Sean McVay. So probably was Mike McDaniel. So probably was Kyle Shanahan. It ain't that many good coaches and good front office people who was like phenomenal. I mean, really, when you start talking about the platinum club for that, you're probably starting to talk about a guy like Ozzie Newsome, who ran the Baltimore Ravens for years, and he stepped down. That's probably what you're talking about, Ozzie Newsome, John Lynch, right now with the 49ers, just to name a few. John Harbaugh was a solid, football quarterback as well, too. So it ain't too many of them. You know what I mean? So, it ain't too many of them. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if he can get it together, he can get it together. I don't really, always agree with his takes, but I think Dan's smart. You got to be smart to, be a quarterback. Especially if you're a quarterback and you playing for like John Gruden, them long ass play calls, like I said before, I think I would be capable of being a quarterback, but it would take me some time. I mean, just from a mental standpoint of view, you have to be smart. That's just flat out the God honest truth. You have to be smart to be a quarterback. Honestly, you have to be smart. If you ain't smart being a quarterback, it ain't gonna work out. But yeah, if you got a photographic memory, great. But then again, you got to understand, you still got to operate under the stress. You still got to have the stomach to get hit. You got to know what the linemen doing. You got to make sure they in protection. You got to make sure the back know what he's doing. The receivers know what he's doing. That's why you got to know what the tight end doing. That's why I did a video on my main channel, and I haven't released it yet, about Richard Jefferson. I'm probably going to release it like Saturday or something like that, where he was, making the argument that he felt that the quarterback position was not as hard. Here come a semi-truck. I don't even know where this semi-truck came from. But the quarterback position is not the most important position, or a basketball player. Ain't nobody hearing that. But one of the reasons I feel like the quarterback position is the most important position in sports is from the simple fact aspect of it. You got to know what everybody doing. It's you. You got to know what you're doing. The other, 21 people on the field, you got to know what the defensive coordinator doing. You got to know what your offensive coordinator want. So it's a hard position. So do I think Orlovsky can be a successful play caller? Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, how does he come up with a playbook? How does he call a game? If anybody, I don't know what's going on. Every time we get to these bridges, everybody gets scared. Everybody, it's somebody. It's always one. But yeah. I don't know. Okay, why are we slowing down to a fucking stop? I can't stand gawkers, bro. Just go. Long as that car if it's on fire, we need to be moving a little bit faster. That's one thing about gawkers. They just want to sit there and be nosy. I don't need to be I don't give a fuck who flipped over, who slid out. I don't want to see if the police officer got a fat ass. Let's keep it moving, bro. These gawkers, they be, Like, no, pay attention to the road, bro. Somebody sound like they look like they spent out. They already on the flatbed. Let's keep it moving. Hopefully they good. But yeah, I don't know how you really know if somebody really. I remember at Michigan they had the 2 offensive coordinators, and one that ended up being the head coach at Maryland. They was at Alabama together. And Gaddis, I forget the Maryland coach name, and he was talking about it's different when you play call. Gaddis would help him get the game plan together for the week, and he said, when he became play caller, he kind of threw a shot at him. And he said it's different when you got to call the plays. Preparing the playbook and calling them in game, because the first about 15 to 20 plays are scripted. And then after that, it's just situational football. You be like, okay, we know that the Arizona Cardinals want to play. I'm just talking about hypothetical. They like playing cover 3. How are we going to attack this cover 3? Now, if they come out this week and be like, yeah, we going to play, we going to play 2-man under. So you got to know how to attack that. And when the bullets is flying and the bullets is flying, how do you react? So I'm not mad at Dan Orlovsky for throwing his name in the. I'm not mad at Dan Orlovsky for saying, "Hey man, I would love to be the offensive coordinator." Like, no, I mean, he might can do a great job. The greater the player is, usually, the worse they are as a coach and a GM. So maybe Danny O, maybe he could be. But at that point, wouldn't Mark Brunell be considered as a QB coach? Or maybe Mark Brunell be like, yo, I don't want to do that shit. So, yeah, it's very, 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 very. I didn't want to do that, but it is what it is. Okay, we didn't need that. But, it's very, very interesting. Very interesting, so. But could he be a good one? Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out about David Blogg. Kellen Moore was our backup quarterback. He went on to be a great play caller, head coach. We seen his greatness as a play caller. The whole thing was he was trigger happy. He liked to throw the ball. He showed his greatness in Philadelphia. He did something with, Jalen Hurts that this offensive coordinator and the one, before that one that he struggled with the other year couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So, for the most part, who knows? But just saying, because he on TV or he was a bad quarterback, it doesn't make or break you to be a good coach. Most of these coaches were marginal players, bro. Most of these coaches wasn't shit. Or they wasn't good enough to be on this level. I think Brian Flores had a career-ending injury. I think that's what happened with him. I don't know. I understand why old buddy in the fast lane. He going slow, but I can't knock it because the rest of these pickup trucks, they be going 99.9 miles an hour. So, but yeah, like, I ain't gonna shut the door on him. But I want to see how Blog gonna do. Because they must have a lot of confidence to, fire, and that's what happens. They fire Cliff Kingsbury. They must have a lot of confidence to fire Cliff Kingsbury and upgrade within. So they must really like David Blogg. They must really like him. So we'll see. But hey, check out Detroit Lions Saw playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.